Hello, can you hear me? Give me a love emoji for me to know you can hear me. And thank you for being on. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining. Oh, man of God, Sammy. Thank you for being on. Happy International Women's Day to every woman out there. Happy International Women's Day to every woman out there. What is our theme for today? Are you aware? When it's 8th of March, what comes to your mind? It's International Women's Day, hooray! And we gather together and we do all the talking, have all the conversations. And what do we really measure? Aren't we tired of just the awareness? Aren't we supposed to move into the action state whereby you would have something to measure yourself with every International Women's Day? I don't know about you, but I'm tired of just the talking. I'm moving into the action state where beyond the talking, you work on yourself. You work on something. You can upgrade and get to know that this is who I was, this is where I was, and for a whole year, this is where I've become, and this is where I am going. Aren't you tired of just creating the awareness? Then we do all the talking, all the debates, all the celebrations, and we talk, and nothing happens. Aren't you tired? It's another International Women's Day. How have you moved? How have you lived from last year to this year as a woman? Invest in yourself. That's what I'm talking to you about today. The general theme says, invest in yourself, accelerate progress. Once you are able to invest in yourself, you can accelerate the progress. But how do you invest into yourself? Are you waiting for your government? Are you waiting for opinion leaders? Are you waiting for the men in your life? Who are you waiting for to do that investment for you? And so we rise up as women and began investing into ourselves. It will be difficult for somebody else to invest into ourselves. Yes, I understand it would have been easier and profitable, all the synonyms, to be under a system that is working. But if you don't have that, would you also sit down anticipating that somebody is supposed to invest into your life? What are you doing into your own life that somebody else can equally support you? So invest into yourself. Accelerate progress. You invest into yourself. As a woman, how do you invest into yourself? We've been trained, we've been socialized to be good wives, to be good mothers. Who trains that woman in us, that young girl God created, who raises her up? Who raises her up? So this year, that's the theme. Invest into yourself so you can accelerate progress. Why are we waiting for somebody else to invest into us? It would have been easier to be in a system that there are policies that are working for you as a woman and for me as a woman. But if you don't live in that regime, would you fold your hands together? Pray, anticipate that there will be a change whilst you are not doing anything to foster that change. How do you accelerate that progress when you can't invest into your own life? Every year we gather together and we create the awareness from one server, one seminar to the other, one debate to the other, rushing through this point to that point, and all we can do is to speak. And after the speaking, what happens? How do we monitor that growth? How do we monitor that growth? Would we just stay in the awareness state that every year we create the awareness and still we are the same? So instead of waiting for somebody else to invest into us, why don't we get beyond the action, beyond the conversation, the talking, and move into the action? Take actionable steps such that we work out the themes. And by the way, if the themes are created by United Nations, you as a person, a woman, how do you derive your own theme from that? Every 8th of March, how do you derive a theme from the International Women's Day celebration? It's just a day we move from one seminar to another, one debate to another, do all the talking. We've been through a lot. First one, second one, third one. Some of us have been through events for today because it's International Women's Day. Hooray. But beyond all the speeches, beyond all the talking, the advice, the opinionated declarations, what happens? What happens to you as a woman who is to invest into your life? So I only pass by quickly to remind you that it's a beautiful thing to gather together, to have all the speeches, to have all the celebrations, the debates as the women. But beyond those speeches, how is life going to be in the next year? What barometers have you put in place to measure your life until the 8th of March 2025? So invest into yourself. Invest into yourself. You are a full agentic woman. Whilst you are waiting for policies and systems and all those things to work for you, you take the initiative, the boldness to invest into your own self. And sometimes when you hear invest, you only think of money. You can upgrade your capacity by studying, by learning or unlearning the limiting beliefs systems that are not working for us as women. You can unlearn them and really learn new things based on where you are and where you want to go. Where is your life today? What barometers have you put in place to measure that life come next year, International Women's Day? Or because you're a woman, all you think about is how to invest into your body. Now the craze is to get, boobs and buttocks, and we think that is who a woman is. That means even self-worth, you have issues with self-worth. You don't have a self-identity. I'm not here to judge anybody, but if you can't stand in front of a mirror to admire the body that God has given to you, that you can enhance it without it affecting your mental health, without it affecting your self-worth, then there's a problem somewhere. So if all your investments as a woman goes into your body, the craze for the day is to have boobs and buttocks, and you think that makes you an elegant woman, no. When the ramifications of those choices come, then you go back to blame the devil. Invest into yourself. Invest into your brain. Invest into your competence. Invest into your integrity. Invest into your character. not just the body, by the boobs, and no. Invest into your capacity. Expand your capacity as a woman. Get your life going for you. And if you're a single woman out there, before you even consider marriage, get your life together. Get a whole life of your own before you consider marriage. And reduce your desperation to get married. And build yourself as a woman, such that the man who marries you will thank his stars and bless God for bringing you into his life. You won't be a liability into somebody else's life. Get your life together as a woman before you consider marriage. Before you say, I do to a man, say, I will forever do to yourself. So you don't get stuck on the way just because you decide to be a wife. Marriage is a beautiful thing. But if you don't get your life together as a single woman, chances are you will struggle in your marriage life. And you make your partner, who is the man, equally struggle. So get your life together. Put your life in order as a woman. Have a vocation. Have a business. Have a job. Have a regular source of income. If you are single, let your desire even be to have another source of income, a second one, that you will invest that second source of income. You will invest it for the future into your children's life. So don't just be, I'm of age, I'm in my 20s, my early 30s, and I think I'm ready to marry just because you are aging, just because you think you're of age. Get your life together as a single woman by getting a source of income, by getting a life together. You on this earth, your mission, your purpose is bigger than being a wife and being a mother. Find that purpose and start living it. It is that purpose that will draw you a man who is supposed to bring you covering, that covering to that purpose and that assignment. So reduce your desperation to get married, so you don't be a liability to somebody else's son. Invest in yourself. If you are from a family that everything is done for you, praise the Lord for your life. There are people in their early 30s, late 30s who still have family that invest into the education, invest into everything they do financially, emotionally, and everything. If you don't have that kind of family, my dear one, you would have to find ways and means to invest into your own life. Put your life in order. Don't just think because you are struggling financially, you need a husband. No, you need a source of income, not a husband. If not, you frustrate your marriage and frustrate your partner. Invest into yourself, your mindset, the mind you will set to live with as a wife, as a mother, as a woman. Invest into that mindset. It's not every woman that will get married to Moses Bless, that you have a $500 million house or are readily available, that you get your first car just because you said, I do. So build your own life such that when the man comes, it would be a blessing, a bonus, and you won't be a liability to somebody just because the person decided to marry you. Put your own life in perspective and start living as a full agentic adult, a woman, such that whoever marries you will thank God for bringing such a woman to his life. Invest into yourself. Be in a position that you can support your children. You are capable. You are capable of supporting your children. That God is God that takes care of children mantra is making a lot of people suffer in this life. No child asks to be here. So if all you think about as a woman is that I'm going to have children and it's God that will provide for them, you let your children suffer. And chances are you would continue to perpetuate that poverty cycle in your house, in your home, in your generation. But you can say enough is enough and put a stop to that poverty cycle from your generation by planning your life. So be in a position that you can support the children you have as a woman, as a wife, and as a mother. So yes, the theme is invest into yourself. Invest into women. But who are you waiting to invest into you? Why don't you take the first step so that God and the universe will see that you are ready to own your life such that help will come? Reduce your desperation to be married just because everybody around you is married. It is because you get pregnant. That is why there are children. So if you, the woman, don't put your life in the right perspective, and all you care about is to get married because you are desperate to have a husband, your children will struggle through this life. Your children will struggle. So increase your capacity. That capacity has to do with your character. It has to do with your potential. It has to do with your belief, your integrity, your competence as a woman. Gone are the days that women just sat down and because they have beautiful faces and they have beautiful bodies, men came their way and married them and made a life out of them. Today, men are equally marrying up. Men are marrying women who will not be liabilities to them. Men are marrying women that will be capable to raise that children that they are proud of as husbands and fathers. So you can't just sit down in your comfort zone and say, because I'm a woman, even if financially I can't take care of myself, somebody will marry me and build a life with me. No. Invest into yourself. Invest into yourself. Let God and the universe see that you are ready to own your life and live as a woman. I am tired of just the awareness. International Women's Day, hooray, and then one day back to the other, we are speaking, creating all the awareness. Isn't it about time we moved into the action? Haven't we done enough talking? Haven't we done enough debate and accurate and speeches, eloquent speeches? Aren't we tired? Let's move into action, women. Ladies, let's move into action. If not, the men that marry us and the children we bring to this life will struggle. Don't become a liability to a man just because the man decided to marry you. Invest into yourself and be a blessing to your man. Let the man know that when he sees you as the table that he can build his life upon, the life that he's going to build, that life, that home, let the man see that you are the table that is going to build that life upon. You are the atmosphere that is going to build that home upon. We are nurturers as women. But if we are not ready to invest into ourselves and thinking that somebody else is supposed to do, we are causing a lot of damage to the people around us, to the men that marry us, to the children that we bring to this life. You think that the men own the children? No. It is because you and I get pregnant. That is why we have children. So we have a major role to play in the lives of these children. We can't be ignorant and naive in 2024 and still pray for marriage. Reduce that desperation and invest into yourself. Children are a financial and emotional decision. So you don't just get pregnant because you think you're of age. It is a financial and an emotional decision. Be ready to raise these children before having them. Onyame na hwɛ nipa would make these children struggle. When their school fees come, you won't go to God. You won't go begging from one door to the other. You should be financially capable, such that if your man is not, you wonder why should the man not be, but it's your choice. It is your choice. You stand in the place of choosing that man. So if that man is not capable, you would have to improvise. And know that anytime you say, yes, I do, or see another woman saying, yes, I do, you are choosing fathers for your children also. So if that man is not capable, you would have to improvise because you chose him. Upon all the men in this world, you chose that man. And you allow that man to father your children. So if he's not capable, you would have to improvise. So God are the days that you say, I am just a woman. I'm going to have children. The man will take care of them, or God, it's God that takes care of children. Those days don't wash anymore. Invest in yourself as a woman. Know that children are financial and emotional decision. So you don't just bring them here because of age. It's a decision that you, the woman, will have to take. It is because you get pregnant. That is why you and the man have children. Your reproduction is in your hands. So don't just get pregnant and assume that the man is supposed to do everything for these children. They are your decision as a woman. You have a major role to play in these children's lives. And if your own life is not in the right perspective as a woman, how can you support these children? So you continue perpetuating that poverty in your cycle, in your generation, because you never planned for these children. And you don't have any intention to upgrade. Let's upgrade our lives such that we'll make our children proud, such that we'll make the men that marry us proud. Get your life together first, girl. And if you are married, it's still not too late. Get your life in the right perspective. You are more than just being a wife and being a mother. The girl that God created you to be, nurture her. Develop your gifts and talents and deploy those gifts and talents. Marriage is not the entirety of life. So if you think your highest achievement is getting married, and if you are single and you think that will be your highest achievement, that is why you are so desperate to get married, honey, reduce that desperation. Reduce that desperation. There are other forms of achievements. There is something called self-actualization. If marriage is yours, praise the Lord for your life, but consider your children. And know that even if your marriage is successful, you can use your life to do something else that posterity would bless you for. So reduce that your desperation to be married if you are single. And if you are married, see yourself as beyond just being a good wife and a good mother. There is something in you that this world needs. So if the theme for this year is invest into yourself, and you are just waiting for somebody to invest into yourself, and all we'll do every 8th of March is to gather and have all the beautiful debates, have all the beautiful, eloquent speeches, and yet we don't move into the action stage. We are just joking. We become jokes. We become jokes. Let's move from the awareness into taking action. Get barometers that you measure your life with as a woman. That every 8th of March, when we celebrate International Women's Day, you can confidently, boldly, unapologetically say that this is who I was. This is where I was last year. And this is how far I've become. This is my journey. And you celebrate your journey. Sometimes it's not even about the destination, but the journey. So don't let us go to sleep from all the debates and all the symposiums and every other thing. With all the speeches, then we go back to sleep until the next International Women's Day again. It is just a waste of resources. It is a waste of resources. Let's move from the awareness into taking action. If you find your journey, if you find your vision, if you find your purpose and start working that purpose, if you are single, marriage will find you. And if you are married, you make your marriage life beautiful. You make your children and your spouse proud of you. Don't have the desire to perpetuate that poverty cycle in your generation and think it's a man's responsibility to provide everything for the children. You have nothing to. These are children you carried in your womb. It was your decision. It is because you got pregnant. That is why you and your spouse, you and your partner have children. Would you just go back to sleep thinking that you have no role to play in their lives? And who you are is the way you nurture these children. If you don't upgrade, you raise your children to become like you are. It is only when you upgrade, build your character, build your competence, build your integrity, build your mindset, that you'll be able to transfer this onto your children, such that your generation will be better than the one your mothers and your fathers raised. So invest into yourself as a woman. Invest into your mindset. Spend some money to study. The same data you will use to watch other things, use that same data to study, read, research. Find out how you can improve your life. Financially, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. Improve. Become a whole human being, not just fragmented. That you are a good mother, a great wife, and yet the woman in you is neglected. Can't you see you are not ill, neither are you also healthy? The things in your soul and your heart, if you don't deal with them, you won't be a healthy person, and you'll be a healthy wife, and you can't be a healthy mother. So invest in yourself as a woman. Let the universe see that you are ready to live, own your life and live, so that help will come. Let God note that you are ready to live, and help would come from all sources of life, places you never even expected. The fact that you were born into a poor home doesn't mean you should raise your children in poverty too. No, not at all. So learn and relearn, unlearn a lot of things as a woman. Many of the things we're raised up with do not wash. If you are just going through life without any value as a woman, without any non-negotiable, chances are you just be living anyhow. And if you have self-esteem, self-worth issues, you have lost your self-identity, you need help. It doesn't matter the BBLs you do. It doesn't matter how you hip and hip. You will still have self-identity issues as a woman. So invest into your mindset, the mind you set to live with as a human being. Many of our beliefs are just limiting. You would have to unlearn them and relearn. Nobody will do these things for us. We can attend all the seminars. We can attend all the events for International Women's Day. And so we are able to say enough of the ignorance, the naivety. I want to live. I need knowledge and information to live as a woman. Nothing will happen for us. So enough of the speeches. Enough of the talk. Let's get up into action. Check your beliefs. The things you believe and accept as true, many of them are not true. Many of them are not true. It becomes your attitude. It shapes your attitude because of your belief. Many of them are just not true. So check these things. Check your perspective as a woman. Many of you are struggling because of your perspective. If you are raised to think that a man is supposed to financially provide everything for you, even investing into your own self becomes a problem because you expect somebody to pay for it. You can pay so much for your nails, your hair, and your skin, but you can't upgrade your mindset by attending things, seminars, workshops that you have to pay just a token to upgrade your brains. Many of our beliefs are wrong. They are not true. It's just because we haven't questioned them as women. Go to school, get a job, get money and spend. Certificates in kuna brabonkum. So go to school to the highest level you can, but find a way to make life a living by developing your gift and talent and deploying it into the world. Get financial education. Financially educate yourself. Create your own family and community. It doesn't matter the family you were born into. Many a time, the family you raise would give you so much value than even the family you were born into. So many of the things that we think are excuses, they don't wash anymore. And then marry up. Girl, marry up. Whoever you marry will either diminish you or raise you up. And the danger in our part of the world is you can't bring this man to your level if the mindset of this man is wrong. So take the one that can take you through all your changing scenes of life. A man you can submit to, a man you can respect. So you don't choose a man today because you are poor, because somebody feeds you and clothes you. If you are able to feed yourself and clothe yourself, what would happen to that marriage? Marry up, girl. Marry up. Marry for a purpose, not just pleasure. And that would mean, as a woman, you should have already identified your purpose. And that would determine who gives you covering of that purpose. When you think of marriage, if all that comes to mind is just to showcase your rank and to have children, you have lost it. Marry for purpose, not for pleasure. Once you choose a husband, understand that you are equally choosing a father for your children. A man that can lead you through all the changing seasons of life. So we have a major role in our own lives that nobody else will do that for us. And if we don't learn today, we can't teach our children. And our generation would be the same year and year. Year in, year out, it will just be the same. Until somebody says enough is enough and decides to change the narratives. We are nurturers as women. Nothing should die in our hands unless you want it to die. We are nurturers as women. So invest into yourself such that you'll be able to equally invest into everything that comes into your hands. Invest into your own life as a woman so that you will have the competence to equally invest into other things as a woman because you are natural as a woman. So happy International Women's Day to you. But get barometers that you measure your life with every International Women's Day, such that you don't just go through the formalities or the beautiful speeches. The orators will speak and we clap and we celebrate, and the same year, the next year comes and nothing about us has changed. Stand with another woman. Sometimes it's so baffling where you see women maltreating other women and we expect the men to support us. Stand with another woman. Support another woman. There is power in synergy. We are stronger together. Instead of that jealousy and all that, animosity, why can't we stand with our fellow women to support them? Nurture the girl in you, girl. Nurture the girl in you. Teach that girl how to distress. Teach that girl how to be herself. Teach that girl how she would not be in competition with anybody. Our life seasons and journeys are not the same. If all you do is to be in competition, let that competition be with yourself, such that every day, every month, every year, you would be a better woman instead of competing with other people. Teach that girl how to be healthier and happier. Teach that girl how to enjoy life. It doesn't matter our situation. The gift of life is paramount. As long as there is life, we'll march on regardless. But if you don't teach that girl to live and to be grateful for the gift of life, she would be depressed. She would be overwhelmed. Teach that girl to embrace her unique journey. Let that girl understand how she is different from every other person. Teach that girl how to love herself so much that when hate sees her, hate will just vanish, will diminish. Because hate will find so much love in this girl that hate can't triumph over her. There is a girl in you that you have to develop, and nobody will do that for you and I. If you happen to be in circles that will do this for you, yes, but your mindsets, your beliefs and paradigms, your perspective, these are internal to you. Your educational system can't do that for you. Your religious circles can't do that for you. It is a decision you have to make internally. It is a choice you would have to make. So arise, girl, and know that you are responsible for your life. You are responsible for your life. International Women's Day, hooray. Speaking at 3-4 events, hooray. And we do all the talking. No action. No action. What are our goals as a woman today? What are your goals? We are tired of creating the awareness. Let's take actionable steps to transform our lives so that it would affect the people around us. Aren't you tired of just the speeches? Every 8th March, we gather together and speak. And after the speeches, what happens? Invest in yourself, honey. Invest in yourself. Until it changes in your mind, it can't change in your heart. And until it changes in your heart, it can't change in your character. So expand your capacity. That will make you realize that life is not as complicated as you think. Learn to put your own oxygen mask on, such that you'll be able to pour into other people. Don't just be in the place to receive because you've been taught that women only receive. Be in the position that you upgrade yourself so much that you'll be able to pour into other people also. Get into the place that it would not just be about you, it would be about relevance. So happy International Women's Day. Invest into yourself. I don't know how you are going to do that, but if you are waiting for somebody else to do that for you, chances are next year would come and nothing about your life has changed. This year, our theme is, what are you doing differently? What are you doing better and differently this year to make your life better and different? So we can't just move from event to event because it's International Women's Day without taking any actionable steps. International Women's Day 2025, how would you want to measure your life? How would you want to measure your life? If you don't learn to fill your own cup, you can't pour into others. And many of you are running on empty tanks. So very soon, you run into a ditch. Fill your cup, honey. Expand your horizon by expanding your capacity. Build integrity. Build your character. Build your mindset. The mind you set to live with as a woman. When you hear a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, you don't see that man there as a woman. You don't see that a woman is in the man there. What can you do? What can you add up? What value can you add to your life that you make your children proud of you? What legacies can you leave for your children? What values are you instilling in your children? If all you think about is money, then it means you are poor. You still have poverty mindset. Money is a beautiful thing, but building your capacity goes beyond money. Build valuable relationships, valuable friendships, people that can stand with you through all the changing scenes of life. Money can't buy. Don't just receive, pour into other people such that they would equally be in a readiness and willingness to pour into you also. Don't buy into that wrong assertion that money, women only receive. Women invest. Women reinvest into valuable relationships too. Invest into yourself, honey. Build your life. Everything is possible to the soul that is ready. Everything is capable. Everything is able. Everything. So once you are ready to turn around your life, know that the universe will support you. Help will come from all angles. But you have to take that decision, the decision to live, the decision to invest and reinvest into yourself, the decision to come to a place in your life where you say enough is enough of the begging, that people disrespect you so much because you are begging. Enough is enough from living from the angle of naivety and ignorance. I would learn and relearn. I will unlearn. All the things that haven't helped me till now, I will learn them as a woman. International Women's Day, honey. Invest into yourself. Invest into yourself. You can only build momentum. You can only grow when you invest into yourself. So don't be in a hurry to invest into everybody else whilst you run on an empty tank. Fill your own tank. Don't think the world is celebrating you when you are filling everybody else's tank when you are empty. You can't be holding an empty cup, dehydrated, and still pouring into. What you're pouring will be fake. What you be pouring won't benefit those you are pouring into because it's from an empty cup. Learn to fill your own cup. If you are ready to leave, help will come. If you are ready to fill your own cup, help will come. If you are ready to invest into your own life, you'll find a way. It's either we find a way or we make excuses. The choice is ours to make. So yes, today, International Women's Day, many speeches, but you, I'm talking to you. Forget about the rest. You that you think you have nobody. You that you think nothing has been working for you. You can still turn your life around. Don't compare yourself to those who come from a family that everything is laid down for them, structured. Everything is built and handed down to them. I'm not talking about those people. But you that your life is you and yourself, and you still want to turn your situation around, yes, it is still possible. It is still possible. You are capable. You can build yourself up from ground zero. It doesn't matter how deep you are falling, you can still arise and move on. The decision is yours to make. The choice is yours to make. We can sit down and cry. We can take the steps and march on. Before our very eyes, a year today would come. I will gather together at the best and all the events. I would all celebrate and mark the day again. But what would you want to measure your life with? What would you want to measure your life with next year, International Women's Day? If you have consistent instructors to work for you, that will be okay. If you also arise and decide to own your life and live, that would equally be okay. Everything depends on you. Everything depends on you. Everything depends on you. So why don't you arise and live? Whilst you are waiting for somebody to lead your life for you, others are rising and they are living. One life is all we have, and we live it as we believe in living it. But to sacrifice who you are, to live without belief, that is a faith more trembling than dying. That is Joan of Arc. So you see, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. This is from Michelle Obama. But if we don't even think we are capable, if we have issues with self-worth, self-identity, that the craze is to have all the BBLs before we look beautiful, then we have a problem. If we don't see that who we are is more than the body we carry, so we upgrade our mindset, invest into ourselves, work on our self-worth, our self-identity, build self-esteem. But all we think of is how to increase our buttocks and our breasts in 2024, then there's a problem. So own your life and live. Own your life and live. For everything is possible to the soul that is ready. Once you are ready to live, help will come. You build your capacities. You will learn or relearn. Opportunities will come for you to learn, to upgrade, to become better. So one more time, happy International Women's Day. Invest into yourself. Reinvest into yourself. If you are single, before you consider marriage, get your life together. Before you say I do to somebody, before you say I do to a man, before you would say I do to a man, say I forever do to myself. Say you would forever do to yourself. Meaning your life is in order. You have started living. And if you are married as a woman, when you upgrade your mindset, your beliefs, your capacity, your abilities, your integrity, life becomes easier for you. And whoever you're married to sees you as a blessing. Don't just think being here in this life is for you to be a wife and a mother and it ends there. So whether you are single or married, put your life in the right perspective. The singles, get your life in the right perspective. Reduce that desperation to get married and fix your life. Fix your life such that whoever marries you will see you as a blessing. I repeat, before you say yes, I do to a man as a woman, you should have said I'll forever do to yourself. Meaning you have your life in perspective. So nobody comes and toss you up and down because you don't know where you are going with your life. In the journey of purpose, you find your covering. What happens to you if you discover yourself in the marriage and realize this man can carry you to where you want to go with your life? You would be a frustrated wife. And in case you don't know, there are lots of frustrated wives out there. If you are single, that shouldn't be your purpose. And if you are married, it's still not too late. You need knowledge, you need wisdom, you need understanding to turn your life around as a wife and a mother. When you add value to yourself and you start living from the point of purpose, not pleasure, whoever you marry to would respect you. Because then they see that you are the table, the atmosphere he's building that family on. You are not just a liability. Invest into yourself. Invest into yourself, honey. Invest into yourself in all areas of your life. Invest into your health. Invest into your mindset. Invest into your competence. Invest into your integrity. Invest into your character. And don't just take pride in I am a mother, I am a wife. What about the woman God created you to be? Invest into her. Invest into her and be happy. Be happy. The people you see them that you envy, you are jealous of them, you think their lives are going for them. They have made sacrifices you are not ready to make. And some of them, it's just a public facade of happiness. You have no idea what people are going through. Sometimes as we, it's either we are going through something, we are going through something, or we're going to go through something. So if you are waiting for everything to be together before you be happy, chances are you will not be happy in this life. Be happy, regardless of the situation. Be happy and be grateful for the gifts of life. Whilst you are asked for a better life, celebrate your journey, celebrate your achievements, reinvest into your life. You can only be an amazing man and wife when you are an amazing woman. You can only be a amazing mother, a happy wife, a happy woman. So never in your life neglect and abandon the woman because you want to sacrifice to be a great, awesome wife and mother. If for any reason you abandon the woman in you, chances are you will never be a great wife and a great mother as you desire. So happy Women's Day. Invest and reinvest in yourself. Learn to follow your own time. Learn to add value to your life. When you see people disrespecting you so much, all they are telling you is upgrade. When you upgrade internally, it would reflect externally. And all that disrespect to go away by itself. When you upgrade, get understanding, get knowledge, get wisdom, teach yourself money, build yourself, your capacity, build another source of income. You realize that life wasn't as complicated as we thought. So invest into yourself, honey, and reinvest into yourself. Upgrade yourself. Get up, for it's easy up there. We can't struggle down here forever. No, enough is enough. Stand tall as a woman, the mother children to be proud of. Never perpetuate that poverty cycle in your generation. See your children, let your children see you changing the narrative. Let your children see you changing the dynamics because you've upgraded your mindset. Your beliefs are changed. You've gotten a clearer and a better perspective to life. Happy International Women's Day. Much love and blessings. Life is not supposed to be from one struggle to the other. If we are ready to live, to own our lives, we'll get there. It doesn't matter the struggles. It will be better today than yesterday. It comes with the readiness and willingness to pay the price. I love you and wish you well as a woman. If you get so overwhelmed and you want a place where you can pour out, you want somewhere you can share, you want a person you can talk to, that you know that you are safe, reach out to me. Let's begin supporting one another. Let women support women. Let women stand with women. Much love and blessings. Happy International Day. Invest into yourself. Don't wait for anybody. Arise and begin living. For you are created to live, move, and have your being. Take charge.